Hey everybody, this is 22 Tiger Dude and I'm here to review The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. So The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 has the returning cast of Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Julianne Moore, and many more talents. And the plot to this film is that after Katniss Everdeen destroys the entire Hunger Games at the end of Catching Fire, there are no more Hunger Games. You know, the games, they're all gone now. It's now all about the revolution, given by the leadership by President Coin, who is portrayed by Julianne Moore. Katniss Everdeen becomes the Mockingjay and must figure out a way to go save Peeta. So going into Mockingjay Part 1, I honestly was pretty excited to see this movie because I thought the first Hunger Games was good. Yes, did it have its problems? Yeah, it's not a perfect movie. There were definitely issues with the movie, but at the same time, I still thought it was a well done movie. It was a nice introduction to this whole series, but the sequel, Catching Fire, I thought was an improvement over the original. It was more interesting, it was more darker, and it was a little more exciting, so I really liked Catching Fire. And so now going into Mockingjay Part 1, all I wanted was just a good movie, and that's exactly what I got out of Part 1. Jennifer Lawrence still does a very great job as Katniss Everdeen. Not only is she just a beautiful actress, but she really is talented, and I felt like she was very strong as his character. And then you also have Liam Hemsworth, in which I thought he did a really good job too. And then Philip Seymour Hoffman, who does a very great job. And man, when you watch this movie, it really is such a shame that this man passed away, because what a talent he is, and you know, it's just such a shame. But Philip Seymour Hoffman just did a terrific job. And then you have the new addition of Julianne Moore, who portrays President Coin, and I thought she did a really good job, and surprisingly she was very important. Like I thought coming into this movie she was just going to be one of those characters that pops in here and there, not having much, but believe it or not, she had more screen time than I actually thought, and she was actually important to the story, and her character alone was actually very interesting. There's limited action, and I really mean it's very limited. This movie is more of a slow burner because this is really a build-up to what we're going to see in Part 2. And honestly, I didn't really mind the build-up because the storyline to me was still engaging. It still kept my attention, making me care about what's really going on. I also can't forget about Woody Harrelson, Stanley Tucci, Elizabeth Banks. Woody Harrelson's great. Stanley Tucci is really good. You don't get much of him though. And then Elizabeth Banks, she actually adds a little bit of the comedic relief here than she has in the previous installments. Another thing I do appreciate about Part 1 is how it didn't really focus on the whole love triangle thing like with the first two movies, because my issues with the first two movies was just the whole love triangle. I never thought it was necessary from the start of the series, so I'm glad it didn't focus on it. Like, yeah, you'll get brief mentions about it, but it's not really all that focused, and it definitely...
Fans are, you know, so passionate about these movies and these books and these characters, and it's very exciting to come and meet them firsthand. He's a passionate guy. He, you know, it's the first time in these stories where you kind of get to see a little bit of his affected side, I guess. You know, he's very good at putting on a strong face and, you know, not letting Katniss see how he really feels about things. And there's a moment in this one where you see, you know, he talks about his district being destroyed, and you see his vulnerability and the fact that he's not just a tough, unbreakable guy. He's, you know, he's human like everyone else. It's just another evolution of the story. You know, the characters go in a different direction. This film is much different to the first two. You know, it's a different part of the story. We're not in the Hunger Games anymore. We don't have the games. It's more about the uprising and the rebellion, and you know, spreading the word and getting the districts to come together and be a part of it all.
was like, of course I would love to make the soundtrack to this movie. Like, I feel like these movies are such a part of the kind of cultural landscape of being a young person right now, and it just seemed so perfect for me. And it was an amazing process getting to like handpick the best kind of old, new, young, cool artists. I went and visited the set in Berlin. I was playing a show just across the road from where they were shooting, so I got to kind of go and see the craziness that is the Hunger Games shooting, which is like 300 extras, you know, like this crazy scene, and it was amazing. It was really beautiful, and everyone was, you know, super nice, so it was fun. The fans are so great, you know, they're so dedicated and kind of similar to my fans in a way, so yeah, it's been awesome.